those marked as the chosen are destined to walk through the fiercest storms. Their suffering is not a punishment, but a preparation for a role only they can fulfill.
Have you ever wondered why those singled out for a unique destiny, those we often call the chosen one, seem to bear the heaviest burdens? It's a theme that echoes across countless narratives and cultures. Yet why is this path invariably linked with hardship and sacrifice? Today, we look into the compelling world of the chosen one, unraveling the layers of their suffering, and perhaps understanding a bit more about the price of greatness and the weight of destiny. Throughout history and across cultures, the concept of the chosen one has been a powerful narrative force. This character is typically marked by an unusual birth or prophesied selection, setting them apart from the very beginning. They are often destined to bring about significant change or to save their community, nation, or even the world. But this designation is far from a simple honor. It carries with it a set of expectations so immense that they can crush even the mightiest of spirits. The essence of being the chosen one is not just about having unique powers or a special role. It involves a profound sense of duty, and often, a pre-written destiny that they must fulfill. This destiny can be a solitary path, fraught with decisions that carry heavy consequences, not just for themselves, but for all who depend on them. The constant scrutiny and anticipation of their actions create a life filled with intense pressure. Why then do we gravitate towards these stories? Perhaps it is because, in every culture, there is an innate love for heroes who overcome insurmountable odds. Or perhaps it is because through them, we see the embodiment of the highest human virtues: bravery, sacrifice, and the struggle to maintain integrity under pressure. Looking through the lens of history and mythology, we find numerous figures who embody the characteristics of the chosen one. These are individuals whose lives were defined by prophecies or significant expectations from their inception. They were often seen as saviors or pivotal figures destined to restore balance or bring about a new era. What is striking about these stories is the common theme of isolation and immense personal sacrifice. The path they walked was often lonely, filled with trials that tested their spirit and body. The weight of the world was on their shoulders, and every decision could mean the difference between salvation and destruction. Their lives were not their own, but were instead dictated by the roles they were expected to play. This sense of predestined responsibility created not just external conflict, but internal turmoil as well. How does one reconcile personal desires with a destiny that leaves little room for choice? The psychological burden of knowing that every action is watched and weighted with expectation can be overwhelming. It creates a paradox of being revered yet isolated, powerful yet shackled by duty. As we explore these themes, we begin to see a pattern emerge. The chosen one is not just a hero, but a symbol of the ultimate human sacrifice. Their suffering is profound, because their lives are not merely their own. They live and breathe for a purpose that transcends individual desires, a purpose crafted by the needs and hopes of others. Through this exploration, we gain a deeper appreciation of what it means to be chosen. It is a complex interplay of fate, duty, and sacrifice that defines not just the character of the individual, but also the course of the histories and stories they inhabit. These figures, whether born from myth or etched into the annals of history, serve as poignant reminders of the enduring human struggle between destiny and personal desire, between the greater good and individual will. As we continue, we will look into the characteristics of these chosen ones, the burdens they carry, and the internal and external conflicts that define their journeys. Through understanding their struggles, we perhaps find a mirror reflecting our own challenges and aspirations in the timeless quest for meaning and fulfillment in our lives. When we think about those labeled as the chosen one, several defining traits consistently emerge. These individuals are often endowed with abilities that surpass the ordinary, bringing both awe and isolation. Their stories involve a destiny intertwined with the fate of others, where their decisions and actions ripple across their worlds, influencing the course of events far beyond their own lives. A critical aspect of their narrative is the conflict they endure, both within themselves and from the world around them. Internally, they grapple with their sense of identity and purpose. Externally, they face adversaries that challenge their resolve and threaten their mission. This constant conflict serves not only to define their character, but also to drive the narrative forward, highlighting their heroic qualities while underscoring the immense pressures they face. Yet, it's not just their powers or destiny that set them apart, it's also their profound sense of duty. This duty is often a source of their greatest trials, as it compels them to make choices that align with their role as saviors, often at the expense of their personal desires. The weight of this responsibility can be overwhelming, shaping their lives in ways that few can truly understand or relate to. The expectations placed on the chosen one are enormous and come from all directions. The communities they protect, the allies they lead, and even their adversaries all hold them to a standard that is almost superhuman. This burden of expectation can lead to significant psychological strain. Imagine being under constant observation, where every decision is scrutinized and every failure is magnified, not just by your immediate circle, but by the entire world that depends on you. This intense scrutiny often results in a profound sense of pressure to perform and deliver results, irrespective of the personal cost. The chosen ones must consistently demonstrate strength, wisdom, and courage, even when they feel none of these things. They must mask their doubts and fears to provide hope and leadership for others. The expectation to succeed and to fulfill their destiny can lead to a deep fear of failure. This fear is not just about personal loss, but about letting down those who believe in them. The mental and emotional toll this responsibility takes can lead to isolation, as they find it increasingly difficult to share their burdens with others who may not understand the full extent of their destined roles. We see that the journey of the chosen one is fraught with challenges that go beyond external conflicts. Their stories are as much about battling inner demons and facing moral dilemmas as they are about overcoming visible enemies. The characteristics that define them and the expectations they carry shape their narrative, driving them into roles that are both glorified and agonizing. One of the most poignant aspects of being the chosen one is the inevitable sacrifice involved. These individuals often find themselves in situations where personal loss is not just a possibility, but a requirement. Their roles demand that they prioritize the greater good over personal desires, leading to choices that can result in profound personal sacrifice. The nature of these sacrifices varies, but often involves relinquishing aspects of their personal lives that many cherish: privacy, love, the freedom to choose their own path, or even the sheer simplicity of an unremarkable life. They might have to give up relationships or opportunities for normalcy to meet the demands of their destiny. This theme of sacrifice highlights the harsh reality that their chosen status comes at a significant cost. This constant giving up of oneself and one's happiness for the sake of a larger purpose underscores the immense burden carried by these individuals. It brings into sharp focus the gravity of their responsibilities and the stark reality that their lives are not entirely their own. They are bound by their roles, often scripted by fate or the expectations of others, and their personal needs and wishes are frequently sidelined. Alongside the sacrifices made by the chosen one, there is also a profound sense of isolation that accompanies their power and responsibility. This isolation is not merely physical, but emotional and psychological. It stems from the unique position they hold, a role that sets them apart from others in fundamental ways. The power they wield can create a barrier between them and those they lead or protect. Their ability to make decisions that can affect so many lives often places them in a lonely position, as the magnitude of such decisions can be difficult for others to comprehend fully. Additionally, the fear of making the wrong choice or the burden of the potential consequences can be isolating. This separation is exacerbated by the inherent danger in their roles, which can prevent them from forming close, trusting relationships. They may fear for the safety of loved ones, or choose to keep others at a distance to avoid vulnerabilities that could be exploited by their adversaries. Thus, their power, while a source of strength, also becomes a source of profound loneliness. The theme of isolation serves as a stark reminder of the price of leadership and responsibility. It illustrates that being set apart for a great purpose can lead to a solitary path, where the chosen one must navigate their challenges largely alone, supported by the knowledge of their necessity but burdened by the solitude it entails. The life of the chosen one is not only defined by external battles and visible sacrifices, but also by an internal journey of self-discovery. This journey is crucial, as it shapes their understanding of themselves and their roles within the world. As they navigate their path, filled with trials and tribulations, they often encounter moments that challenge their beliefs and force them to reflect on their identity and the implications of their destiny. This internal exploration is marked by moments of doubt and introspection, where they question not only their ability to fulfill their role, but also the very nature of their chosen status. Such moments are critical. They provide opportunities for growth and learning, allowing them to redefine their perceptions of strength and leadership. This personal evolution is essential, as it helps them to reconcile their personal desires with the responsibilities that come with their powers. The path to self-discovery also involves learning to cope with the isolation and sacrifices discussed earlier. Through these experiences, the chosen one often gains a deeper understanding of the human condition, developing empathy and a more profound sense of purpose. This personal growth is vital as it empowers them to continue their journey despite the challenges they face, strengthened by a renewed sense of self and commitment to their cause. A pivotal theme in the narrative of the chosen one is the tension between destiny and free will. This theme explores the extent to which their actions are predetermined by fate, or whether they have the freedom to shape their own paths. The struggle with this dilemma often forms a core part of their story, influencing their decisions and their understanding of their role. This conflict between destiny and free will raises important questions about responsibility and control. On one hand, the idea of destiny suggests a path that is preordained, something that they are meant to follow. On the other hand, the concept of free will offers them the possibility to choose, to assert their agency in how they fulfill their role. The interplay between these two forces is a source of great internal conflict for the chosen one. It challenges them to think critically about the nature of their actions and their consequences. Are they merely puppets of fate, or do they have the power to influence outcomes and forge their own destiny? This struggle often leads to a deeper understanding of their powers and limitations, and ultimately helps to define their legacy. Despite the myriad challenges and sacrifices that define their journey, the chosen one often reaches a point of redemption and fulfillment. This phase in their narrative not only provides closure to their many struggles, but also offers a sense of achievement and purpose that can justify the hardships they have endured. Redemption for the chosen one typically comes in the form of achieving the goals they were destined to fulfill, whether it's saving their people, restoring balance, or bringing about a new era. This accomplishment does not erase the pain of their sacrifices, but it does lend a sense of worthiness to their loss and isolation. It reinforces the idea that their suffering had a purpose, contributing to a greater good that benefits more than just themselves. Fulfillment, on the other hand, is more personal. It comes from the internal peace they find in having played their part, in knowing that their actions have made a significant impact. This fulfillment is profound, transcending the typical joys of everyday life. because it is born from the realization that they have changed the course of history in some way. It is a deep, enduring satisfaction that stems from having lived up to the expectations set before them and from the personal growth they've experienced along the way. While we conclude our exploration into why the chosen one suffers the most, we reflect on the universal appeal of these stories. These narratives resonate with us because they mirror the struggles we all face in our own lives. While few of us are chosen by destiny in the mythical sense, many can relate to the themes of sacrifice, isolation, and the quest for personal meaning amidst the pressures of external expectations. The chosen one embodies the extreme of human experience, exceptional challenges coupled with exceptional responsibilities. Yet, their stories inspire us because they speak to a fundamental human truth: the importance of perseverance, the value of sacrifice for a greater good, and the potential for personal growth through adversity. Ultimately, these narratives remind us that every one of us has the power to impact our world in large or small ways. The archetype of the chosen one encourages us to consider our own roles and the choices we make, pushing us to think about how we can overcome our own challenges and make meaningful contributions. Through this series, we've looked into the heartaches and triumphs of the chosen one. Their journey, marked by depth and complexity, challenges us to think about our paths and the legacies we wish to leave behind. It's a powerful reminder that while the chosen may suffer the most, their stories are ultimately about the triumph of the human spirit, a theme that resonates deeply across all cultures and ages.